You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.
Good afternoon, good evening, good night to all of you that are watching us from Uganda, from the United States, from the Caribbean, from Europe, from UK, and wherever you are joining us on the stream tonight. I want to apologize, and we are streaming live from Uganda. For all those who already know what this implies, so it is not strange. You can imagine what our guest, Mr. Bedford Buyungo, has been going through for the past an hour, driving from one studio to the other just to get this show going today. So I want to thank all of you for your patience and for those of you that have been waiting. But like I always said, it's the easiest way not to wait, just to kill the wait, or to, not to anticipate, is just click subscribe and click the notification button. So you can be doing some other things when we come live. You just get your notification and we're good to go. Because as you all know, technique is always a problem on the Pan-African Daily TV because we're connecting guests worldwide. And so you can imagine the global setup. We're connecting from a country which has a lot of insecurity and challenges, particularly with the internet. Yeah, we're talking about Uganda. Uganda is known for that. So we're so happy to have Mr. Buyungo here with us on this exclusive interview. And we're going to be talking about something new today. Usually it's always been about, Africa consuming the global services and brands and whatever. Everything that, even though the raw material is tapped from Africa, it has always gone to the world. They reproduce it and send it back to Africa. That has been the norms ever since, I think, 400, 500, or has always been the pattern after ancient Africa. Yeah. And so, but we're getting the new African spirit, the dynamics of Africans saying, no, why? We can also produce Africa to the world. Yeah. So the new spirit of Africa, like already announced by King Bongane, was Africa for the world. And so that's why the topic today is the role of business in branding Africa. And what is it that we actually want to look about? We want to talk about African brands going global. Like I said, whether it's coffee, the raw material comes from Africa being produced in the West and brought back to Africans. Whether it's fashion, the cotton comes from Ethiopia or the continent, as we all know, being produced in the West and come back to Africa for consumption. Yeah, whether it is chocolate, the cocoa is being made in Ghana and other parts of Africa and then bro. Whether it is your handy or you watching me and typing on the screen, everything that we have in the technological world today has been taken from the coltan or the diamonds and minerals on the continent, reproduced here, our cars and every other thing that we can always think about, right? And guess what? Even us as people, did I just say something? Even us as people. So sometimes when we talk about brand, we only think about the things that we consume. Aren't we been taken for 400, 500 years, brought to the diaspora, reproduced? Now we're even trying to go back. So everything has always been out of Africa, and then the world puts their education and their mentality and the systems into us, and then we start struggling back. But now it is changing because this is time for Africa. So how is it going to happen? Tonight we're going to hear, we're going to see, we're going to experience this new spirit of Africa, where you can see a Chinese wear African brands. Yeah. Why must the brands, and they'll be made in Africa by Africans, designed, copyrighted, protected with every bit of it, like I said, So it is time for Africa not only to think as if, the world exploiters. Now it is time for Africa to exploit the world. Now, I also announced on my page the other day that we'll also be doing Mother Africa prayer for the world. That is coming up with Maponga Joshua anytime next week. Why? Because it's the same scenario. Yeah, it's always the world prayer for Africa. Now, even when the world struggles and suffers, yeah, Africa has never had anything. Now, but we're changing the whole situation. Oh, God is just doing it for us, right? And so we're also going to be praying for the world. So out of Africa to the world is the new spirit of Africa. While we are connecting to build our continent, we reproduce every services and everything, we have even the skills and the personnel, and we sell to the world at our own conditions. So it is very interesting. It is very excited. That is the reason why you see King Uganda sitting there comfortable in that beautiful studio. And you can see his logo pregnant at the background of the studio. It is called Saint Africa. We're going to be hearing everything from the vision, to the communication, to the products, and even to partners that have been taking services from Mr. Bedford Buyungo. He's a Ugandan born, a Pan-African, a creative director, and he's been working with top professionals and institutions globally and also locally. But Bedford says, you know what, Africa is home. I don't even think about, yes, but I'm going to produce and sell it to the world, right? And so he's been working like you see, the VP of Liberia, who should be the president-elect on our list, because she's a female, yet for Liberia in the future. And so Mr. Bedford is the one putting all those, I don't know the kind of brands that he's doing out there, but everything is looking so super and professional. Yeah. So he takes the little pieces, wash the face, clean them, fashion them, and put it out to the world. Now, what am I saying? Even the PLO Lumumba Foundation, he's the creative director. Now, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. But look at even the Pan-African Daily TV logo. Most of you've not really taken time, but everyone is just like, how come you just put the Africa, you put the TV into it and the antennas, and then the design, the colors and everything looks so perfect and unique, and it's consumable worldwide. So we are taking the traditional setup into the modern setup and selling to the world, and also in Africa. So that is what we're talking about, industrialization of Africa by Africans. So back to the studio, and I want to salute my dear brother and friend and consultant and manager and leader and advocate and a social entrepreneur, Mr. Bedford Buyungo. I know you've been struggling for more than an hour, moving from a studio to studio, trying to get to us here. What are the challenges you've been facing shortly to be on this show in terms of connectivity and technology out there in Uganda?
Say that again.
What is the challenges you've just been facing in this short couple of 20 minutes trying to get on the show? Things. What is the problem in Uganda in terms of technique?
I think, Doctor, thank you for hosting me. I would first want to appreciate you and all our viewers globally for taking their time to hear us what we have to say. I want to thank all the viewers that have supported the Pan-African Daily TV since you started. And I know at one time you lost some viewers on Facebook, if you remember that saga you had. But again, the guys came on again. And we want to thank them. And let them just sit in their couches or wherever they are and then enjoy our sharing. So part of what we've been going through is basically internet issues and a few technical glitches here and there, but we're good. I think let's overlook that and then just continue into what the discussion that the reason for our program.
Thank you so very much, Bedford. Can you just tell us a little bit about you?
Bedford is a Ugandan born in his 40s. He is a Pan-Africanist with a passion for entrepreneurship. And I think and many things, but in short, that's me.
That's you. Now we have been seeing some fresh tastes out there. How did you, in terms of this Send Africa, what was the concept that you thought that no, we have to produce a brands and sell also to the world? What was your inspiration, or what was the challenge that you saw and said we needed a solution for this?
Okay, Saint Africa has a history, and that history starts from probably when I was about maybe 3 years when I'm sketching at home, sketching clothes. And I knew one day I would be a designer. So fast tracking, of course, I became an ad man doing advertising, and then I ended up being an entrepreneur. I just didn't want to design for people, but also design something that I think people would enjoy, especially the young people. And that's how we came to team up with some American friends of mine who are of African descent as well. And that's how we came up with Saint Africa. Basically, Saint Africa, we're here to celebrate our melanated heritage, the Black heritage globally. We're here to represent it well, to give it another story away from that of HIV, away from that of poverty. We're here to represent Africa or people of African descent differently and in a positive manner.
Beautiful. I mean, the brand is so beautiful. I mean, you see, I don't know how I can say. Just tell me. I mean, from the colors to the music to it's like everything. The story, the artifacts, like the symbols, the colors, and then even the personality. It's just like diversity for everybody.
Yeah, you see, we Africa is blessed with, of course, Africa is 54 countries. Africa is blessed with many, many tribes, and these tribes have different patterns. These tribes have different colors. These tribes have different sounds. So for us, we are gifted to be Africans or people of African descent in a way that we have a lot that we can't even exhaust in terms of design, in terms of sound, in terms of patterns. So we just barely scratch the surface. And of course, we try to fuse, if you get what I mean. When you
Yes.
look at our products, you will find modern jackets, modern shoes, but with African patterns and African colors. And of course, you must appreciate that people move on, trends change. So there's no way you're going to make someone probably put on like a Masai and they get probably walk somewhere in New York. But you can use a Masai patterns on a new jacket. So that's how we fuse the modern and the traditional to get something fresh. So that's Saint Africa.
I mean, I find it so, how do I want to say? It's a revolution because even if you talk of the Maasai, if we look at the Maasai design, we have guys like even Louis Vuitton and that already used it. If you look at even the Ghana must go, we call this bags Ghana must go. It became a celebrity when it was presented on the Paris Fashion Week. But I mean, as clothes and even holding it, but those are bags that we consume every day on the market, and for us, it's just nothing. And so, branding it globally gives it another taste and concern about it, isn't it?
True. We regard ourselves as probably the African Versace. I don't know if you know Versace. Do you know Versace?
It's not interesting to me. I know Bedford, but I know, yes.
Yeah, so we regard ourselves as the African Versace. Why? Because we are heavily patterned. We use patterns quite a lot. We use colors. We don't fear color. And that way, of course, one must understand what a brand is. Brand is perceptions, a collection of perceptions in people's minds. So it's our product is beyond just jackets or the functionality of the clothes. Like probably when you need something warm, you put on something to warm you. When it needs, during summer, you put on something light. But we're trying to build a brand that represents Africa in a positive way. We're trying to build a brand that will support Africans as well. So the thing is, how do we have something in our hands to sell to the rest of the world and be able to earn something and be able to help us, help ourselves and our people out of that cycle, the debt cycle, the poverty cycle. We had to, by all means, get something to sell. And of course, we are, our background as artists, our background as business people and IT specialists, that's how we teamed up and we were able to come up with such a brand that is global.
Beautiful. Now, why did you choose fashion? I know that your branding for you is a lot. What are the different things that you do in terms of branding, and why actually you went for fashion?
Of course, thank you, Doctor. Of course, we've touched, you did tell the viewers that I'm a brand consultant. I do help other brands. I've worked on some of the biggest brands on the continent and globally. I've worked as an art director and creative director on a brand that people know, MTN. I don't know if you know MTN.
Yes, sure.
I've worked on brand Pepsi and many other brands around Africa and the world. And that's the different part of how I contribute to the brand world, especially African brands. But coming back to why I chose fashion, because I thought fashion is me, and that's where everything starts. So God gives us gifts on which you must stand and contribute to your own people. And so fashion is inborn. So I know some people go to school to learn fashion, but personally I learned, I got to learn research and development, and then I used my natural gifts to come up with such a brand, of course, with my friend. Yeah.
Beautiful. Bedford, just tell us a little bit. I know you've worked on top brands. I mean, if you look at, there was Coca-Cola, right? Which is still the #1 selling because of just maybe the publicity or what, something black and sweet, and then they customize it into the very, but Pepsi Cola was not afraid of that giant, and he said, no, we're going to challenge you and bring you to your knees. And now they went it for it. What was the concept?
Say that again. I can't hear you well.
I'm so sorry. I don't know. I'm saying there was already Coca-Cola existing, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right. So what was the challenge that Pepsi had to come and say, oh, yeah, you're the world #1, but I'm going to challenge you and bring something similar? What was the concept behind? Because you worked on that project.
No, of course, Pepsi, the brand Pepsi is beyond just a drink that you consume. A brand is many things. It's not just the functionality of killing thirst. It is how it makes you feel. And it's a constant battle here in Africa between Pepsi and Coca-Cola of who wins the hearts of Africans. If you remember, Coca-Cola had a very big campaign. I don't remember the years, but
I know that, the one with the Christmas.
They used a certain South African musician contributed to that, and I think their slogan was a million reasons to believe in Africa. And for them, that is one way they wanted to connect to Africans. These are foreign brands. Yes, we've contributed to those brands in one way or the other. And the reason we've contributed, because probably we wanted to support our families, but we yet to see that African soft drink that we will push to the heights. So I won't talk much about their challenges. Like I said, I was just on the communication side. Probably I wasn't on the research and development side. I may not know the inside story, but I can talk comfortably on how we use soccer celebrities to market a brand like Pepsi way a few years ago. And why soccer? Because Africans love soccer. Simple things like
Correct.
that. If you, for example, want to speak to Ugandans, you're going to speak to them in 3 languages. You're going to have to speak to them through music. You're going to have to speak to them through soccer. You're going to have to speak to them through fashion. You can easily win their hearts through those 3 elements and get your agenda going. I don't know if it makes sense.
It makes a lot of sense, too much sense even. And I'm going to start, I will stop really at that point of the slogan, million reasons to believe in Africa, with a drink that is not even made in Africa. Now, do you think that because of that slogan, it attached and or the message, Africans to consume it more? It's a belief,
Yeah,
like
yeah, slogans are crafted from what we people in advertising call big ideas. And
yes.
big ideas are deeply rooted in what we call consumer insights and brand offerings. So consumer insights, I think at that point, Coca-Cola must have seen a wave of people who are proud to be Africans, but they wanted not the Africa of the village, of the not the rural Africa. People are proud these days to be African but stay urban, what some people call Afropolitan. So Coca-Cola must have realized that there was that wave, and that's how they came up probably with that kind of slogan. And of course, they borrowed a song from a South African musician called Stephen Kekana. And that song was "I Love You, Africa, I Love You, Africa." A very old song, but they refreshed it and it touched our hearts. Brands must touch hearts to be able to, sustain from a business point of view, and also brands must touch the hearts to be able to kind of influence purchase. So I think Coca-Cola hit gold, and probably could be the reason they are still on this continent.
Yes, exactly. I mean, but now you talked about music and the sound. I mean, when I listen to the music, yeah, of Saint Africa, it's just like, I'm on my sit heavens or after. Now, how did you come to create that effect and the sound and the music? I mean, I listen to it the whole time that I have it, and I just want to get this products on me.
Okay, thank you very much for appreciating our sound. And I don't know if the viewers listen to it, but they can
I will
visit.
play it. I will play it.
Do you want to play it first, and then I can explain. I can explain it.
Okay, give me a second. I need to track it because I mean that sound. I mean, for those that already watch your trailer, and the trailer is still on our YouTube page, you can download it, you can share it, you can communicate it with one another. But it's not just the soundtrack. The soundtrack is here. It's so beautiful. It's everything that
Africa. Saint Africa. Kampala. Virginia. LA. Lagos. Nairobi. London. Chicago. Soweto. Accra. Kinshasa. Addis Ababa. Fashion. Fashionista. With all due respect.
Wow. Thank you very much. Tell us, because I mean, if I want to describe the elements that really turned me on into the African queen that I am. I can't even, the roaring of that voice of the king, the cock behind. How many times do we even hear them crow? And then the drums and everything. But just tell me how you feel about it, or how you came to creating that.
Okay, I'll use the opportunity to explain our jingle, or what you call the soundtrack. I'll use the opportunity to teach as well for anyone interested in building brands.
Yes.
So as we move on, I'll just mix a little bit of teaching in there for the benefit of the viewers, especially
Correct.
people who are very brand oriented. There is a saying that goes, communication that is effective is one that has the familiar with a twist of the unexpected. Did you hear that?
I mean,
That
go ahead
communication that
again.
is effective is one that has the familiar with a twist of the unexpected. So when you listen to our jingle, there is a sample of there is a musician called Angelique Kidjo.
Yes.
I don't know if you know Angelique Kidjo. So we sample Angelique Kidjo's Agoro. That song called Agoro, very used to be a big hit in the 90s. So, and then of course, we had some other different sounds like the cock crow, and of course that deep voice that's very African, to come up with such kind of jingle. We wanted something that is familiar to the consumers, especially consumers in the West, and then of course we embed our message in there. So to them, Angelique Kidjo is not foreign, and that's how we came up with such a concept. And yes, people love it the way you love it. Thank you.
Beautiful. I mean, it's exceptional. You listen to the sound, you just wanna wear Saint Africa. Now, coming to the name Saint Africa. I mean, when people hear Saint, it always has something to do with Christianity. Are you a believer? Are you a Christian? Why Saint Africa? Why Saint?
Okay. Still, I'll go back to the concept that I explained the music. We needed something familiar that people can pick easily. When we say Saint Africa, it has nothing to do with religion. That's the truth. We're talking about people who have gone an extra mile. We are celebrating Africans who have gone an extra mile for Africa and Africans, or people of African descent. We're talking about people who have lost lives, or we are celebrating people who have lost lives, and that's how we come up with our beautiful name, Saint Africa. So the saint in the word Saint Africa is just standing as a way of celebrating those people who've gone the extra mile. Some of them are living, some of them are dead. You can mention Nelson Mandela. He went an extra mile, 27 years in jail. You can mention Malcolm X. He took a bullet. You can mention Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King, he took a bullet too. And there are many. You can mention Lumumba in Congo. You know, everyone knows how Lumumba died. So those are the saints we are celebrating in our company name. It has nothing to do with religion.
Okay. I hope we're still gonna get a sentence also to get African queens. Most often it's always about, the heroes. What about the sheroes?
What about the heroes? Say that again, doctor.
I said the she-rose.
The sheroes. No, of course, the sheroes, we like you, we celebrate you guys, but we're talking about guys who go the extra mile, and in there's sheroes as well. So there's you, number one, and we have a lady who used to encourage people to plant trees, who won the Nobel Peace Prize in Kenya. We have Miriam Makeba, we have Winnie Mandela. The list is endless. The list is endless, but I think you get the concept that we celebrate every African male or female who has gone the extra mile for the continent, whether people know them or they don't know them, because there are those who end up in the media, there are those who struggle every day, as simple as people who feed their families, who struggle to take their children to school. All those are celebrated in Saint Africa. So we get their stories, we get their lives and craft something out of it, which we take to the world. And then when we earn, we are able to bring back the money and support children to go to school and feed people here and there. Yes, that's what's up with Saint Africa.
Beautiful. And that's actually what motivated me. And I love this brand. I love your concept, because the social entrepreneurship, the attitude of not just bringing a global brand to Africans worldwide or to non-Africans, but the message and the spirit of Saint Africa is powerful. It is just what it is. And for the first time, we're seeing a brand that celebrates our heroes and our heroes. For the first time, we're seeing a brand that communicates to all, irrespective of gender and sex and status and religion, a brand that globalizes people's mindset and the way they feel. I mean, it is typical how the new Africa would be, whether we like it or not. It is a brand that gives you the historical fact, the culture, the music, the food, the everything, the environment, But tell me, you use a lot of environmental things like trees, like leaves, like colors on your brand. I know the message, but what should the viewers know about that?
Saint Africa is heavily, as much as it's fashion, it's a brand that, just like you say, that tells stories. And it can tell stories in the past, it can tell stories in the present, and also it tells future stories, futuristic. When you look at our designs, you're able to see very futuristic elements. When you look at our designs, you're able to see how Africa is right now.
Correct.
And when you look at our designs, you're able also to see stories talking about the past. We've used Martin Luther King. When you see Martin Luther King, he stands for something. We've used Nelson Mandela, he stands for something. The trees, the vegetation, the crocodiles, that's all in Africa. That's how rich Africa is. And like I said, we can't exhaust the palette. We can't exhaust. Africa is that big. And if someone sees Africa from a brand point of view, it's just enough for us to survive.
Do you know a similar brand, African brand in this context? Do you have any idea of an example? Because I really, even after, before Saint Africa, is something that we always have been anticipating. When is Africa going to do something that is really going to shut down the world? Like everybody's going to be having it and be proud of it, Africans and non-Africans. Do you have any example?
No, I don't have an example of probably one brand we are benchmarking on. But like I said, because of our patterns, we are called the Versace of Africa. And because when you go to the West, especially the USA, they thought that we were the African H&M. I don't know if you know H&M. We were doing easy clothes, very casual clothes for people to use. And for them, they thought we were the Africa H&M. That's, how they call us. But we are Saint Africa. So locally on the continent, I don't know one brand that is like us, because we are here to send trends, and we also welcome people to look up to us, and then we move forward. Yeah.
You want to expand, and I see you already putting those structures in Lagos, Nigeria. You even are talking about the locations and in the US, the UK. You refer to Fela Kuti. Now, do you actually target the targets out there? Why did you use Fela Kuti for UK, for instance, or it was just a coincidence in the music, or because a lot of Africans are also there?
Yeah, thank you. The reason we use such people, such icons, because these icons are stories. Fela Kuti tells a story. When you see his face, of him probably putting up his hand, that's standing for freedom. And many countries, many African countries are going through turmoil. Many African countries have dictatorships. And for me, Fela Kuti stands for freedom, and especially that iconic posture. But besides using Fela Kuti to represent people fighting for freedom, to represent liberations on the continent, we also, as business people, have to look at where the money is. For
Correct.
example, if I'm not mistaken, Lagos could be 9 million people. So, when you flash Fela Kuti's face to any Nigerian, they'll give you the money, and when they give you the money, you will put it to good use. I don't know if you get me. So, for us to use such icons, it's two things: to tell the stories, but also to the to the consumers, to win their hearts, because these people, the icons, are sitting in people's hearts. So when you flash such images, they'll give you the money. They will also be proud to put on such icons, because brands are not just on the function side, but also on the emotional side. When you put on, for example, Muhammad Ali, that day you feel like a winner. When you put on Fela Kuti, that day you feel like a liberator. When you put on Nelson Mandela, probably you will think about forgiveness, you will think about long suffering. And that's the two main reasons we use such icons: on the business side, for the numbers, and then, of course, to win the hearts and also make our consumers feel good about things they care about.
Absolutely. And also for the fact that, I mean, it's not only even in Nigeria, Fela Kuti or Angelina Kidjo or all these icons are global icons, and like his music, I mean, was one of the hit. But of course, not everybody is attached to freedom fighters. And so what is good for I mean, not everybody would be satisfied. I'm just like using icons in terms of branding. And you also took into consideration that there's some people that maybe never ever loved him and would not like this brand.
Of course, when you look at our products, we have a portfolio of about 1,000 products on our
Correct.
website. We are ranging from jackets, t-shirts, socks, swimsuits. The list is endless. So, of course, there are icons that don't speak to certain kind of communities. There are also icons that people don't even know about. When you talk to a 20-year-old Ugandan and you tell them about Fela Kuti, they won't understand what you're talking about.
Correct.
So, because we are a global brand, that's how we come up with many icons to be able to speak to the different kind of communities and be able to connect to them.
Beautiful. All right. What about United Africa? Because I know, okay, Central Africa is the products that you have in the market, but you also have this other sister brand that is called United Africa. Like, for instance, some of your products that you're coming out is like, I mean, every African in the street, you put New York, like a cap or a t-shirt, and they just kind of like, or the flag of America, an African, even on the continent. So, and then they have some of this kind of thing, like just New York, for instance. Let me just take that one, like New Yorker comes from New York. And you came out with United Africa. And from the products you put, really cities like Kampala, Lagos, I don't know, all the spotlight, the historical spotlight on the continent by using this brand. Now, tell us more.
United Africa brand, of course, when you go to www.saintafrica.com, you'll find a section with United Africa products. And United Africa is inspired by Professor Lumumba. And I used to listen to Professor Lumumba quite a bit. and that's how I came up with United Africa brand. And I knew that I was aware that everyone who comes up to speak about a United Africa is probably a politician or an activist. So I wanted to embed that idea using fashion in people's
Correct.
minds, hearts, and using fashion. And when we did our first line, people enjoyed them, and we made that idea, the political idea, the activist idea of a United Africa, very cool. Like someone says, if you want to sell agriculture in Africa to the youth, you have to make agriculture sexy.
Correct.
I know you've heard about that. So, coming back to us who are selling clothes or manufacturing clothes, we wanted to make the idea of a United Africa very, cool for the young ones to appreciate. And yes, everyone knows that for Africans to win, we must take a united position.
Correct.
Being divided is a very that's what every other enemy of ours wants. But we are very aware that since probably the 1900, people have been working against Africans, and we're trying to rally people to unite using our clothes. I don't know if it makes sense.
You make too much sense, Bedford. Stop saying I don't know whether you get it. You get everything so perfect and you know it, but you just acted. You see the way I brand the United Africa on the Pan-African Daily. All of you that are watching, you could always see it on our flyers from day one. The PLO Lumumba, the ADDI, even the African Union, the United Africa. That stands out alone because it's not just only the slogan. Most of us are coming now with a lot of logos and slogans and this, but that United Africa, the spirit of that brand that is in it. A lot of people used to ask me, oh, Susan, where can I download? Then I say, no, that is protected, and a lot is coming behind this brand and products and stuff. What are some of the products that I already saw you like face caps or t-shirts or sweatshirts and even pullovers and socks or whatever on the United Africa brand?
You asked what are the product catalog?
Yes.
Oh, of course, we have. When we're innovating, when we're in our laboratories, we looking at trends. We're looking at what sells and what doesn't sell, and we concentrate on what sells. And yes, we have a catalog that ranges from socks, that caps, swimsuits, shoes, hoodies, depending on which part of the world you live in. Like where you live, you will need a United Africa binica. Where you live, especially in the winter, you will need a United Africa jacket. But for us who live in the tropics, we enjoy our t-shirts. So we try to cover every part of the world, looking at weather, looking at what is trending. So when people visit www.saintafrica.com and look at the United Africa section, they are able to see the various products we have.
Yeah, of course. And these products are also going to be available on the AfroWorld.tv platform. We tried loading some of them already because most of particularly the Black American are putting a lot of stuff out there, sneakers and sweatshirts, and the United, the Saint Africa and the United Africa brand is going to be available there anytime. And what kind of currency can people purchase with? Can they also buy with Lumi? Cryptocurrencies and stuff like that, or just dollars and euros?
We're using, as much as we're Africans, we don't want to be divorced from being business people. Yeah, we follow trends, and we want to play the global game. So we're talking about the currency that rules right now. That's the US dollar. So when our system is in the US, of course, managed by people of African descent in the US, but yes, we use US dollars. You can buy off internet, off our website directly, and we will be able to ship our products all over the world. But just for people to know that it's not about them, making us rich. We are not looking at being the next Jeff Bezos. We're not looking at being the next Elon Musk. We basically trying to use our products to earn some money and be able to fix the pressing needs in Africa. Pressing needs in terms of very practical education, pressing needs in terms of medicine for our people, pressing needs in terms of technology. That's the reason for our being. We're not chasing for the dollar to enjoy jacuzzis, or we're really chasing that dollar to be able to fix our own issues on the continent.
Of course, Bedford, I don't know about your team but I know you. I know you, I know Professor Pierre Lumumba, and I know your mindset when it comes to that. No freedom fighter has ever put money in the focus. And that's why you see a lot of them die poor. We all die poor. I mean, in terms of material, but they're the richest people for legacy and continuity in life. And that's the only thing, of course, that makes sense. So, and there's no reason to justify too much. So when even the millions who can't put it back on the continent, that's what we're also looking for. So go to St. Africa, shop a St. Africa, and be proud of the Africa that we want. Now, we're coming up with a very massive project, which is going to be in terms of sport. You talked about sport, and we're looking to collaborate with St. Africa and United Africa, to do some draws. So the event is called Legends, and it's going to be a global sport event, just like the leagues that you have, all these European leagues. So a brother in the Caribbean is coming up with the African League, global league, where they train young, talented talents, the talents from the neighborhoods on the different parts of Africa, train them and bring them into legends. As we all know, there's a lot of talent hidden in those in the slums, what they call the slums, hidden talents, and they decided actually to make it that slums because they know what is there. So they promote it to us like this are the poor, but these are the most talented legends. If you look at starting from my country, Ethiopians, West came from the slum. None of these talents that we're seeing, whether it's Drogba or even up to President Excellency George Weah, that are superstars in terms of sport wherever they ever came up from some kind of a wealthy kind of a family. So the talent in sport to bring a world attention is what these brothers are working in, to make Africa a different kind of a place in terms of sports and talent. We're looking to partner with St. Africa. I'm not saying we, like it's my project. They only called me also to say, no, we want the Pan-African to be the main media for that, which I'm actually grateful and thankful for your support and all of us for the same purpose on which we're doing it. So you talked about teaching, and we know you're going to be here twice a month on the Global African Brand Academy. What is it that you'll be teaching us? Designers, stylists, or how to push your brand global for those that are interested?
There's many things that we can we're going to learn. I have a background as a university lecturer. We didn't mention that, but I'm able to take people through the exercise of building brands. I'm able to take people through the exercise of innovation, what we call the innovation pipeline, how people innovate. For example, I'm not, I didn't study how to build boats, but in the backyard, yes, we are building boats and we are using innovation concepts. So we're here to inspire our own people. We're here to teach people to graduate from just peddling a mere product to be able to build a brand in people's minds and be able to make much more money off what they are selling. And of course, we know that when people make more money, that's not a sin or that's not bad.
No.
We'll be able to create jobs. We'll be able to reduce, uh, diseases and sicknesses. We'll be able to fix our own issues in our own backyard. So, yes, we're going to learn about branding, how to build a brand, how to manage a brand globally, and yes, we'll be inspired in the innovation world.
Super. I'm loving this because we're building a lot of universities set up on the Pan-African Daily here. The other day we were talking about tribal university with your sister there from Uganda, Brenda. And today we're talking about also, the brand academy that is coming up. So there's just a lot coming up because we know education is the key developing young, innovative minds of Africa through industrialization. How do we build our own things and making them look so beautiful and nice and appetizing? Now, you talked about something. One of the things that I know that Germans, particularly, or the West, are so focused on is, how do I call it? The design. We are hosting a lot of trade fairs in Germany for the past 20 years. That's what I used to do, or that's what I'm doing. And we had a lot of products and traders that were leaving the continent in different African countries, whether they are clothes or what kind of products and services that they had, and into the German market. And because the German market or the Western market is so highly standardized in terms of packaging and labeling and colors, most of the challenges that the sellers or the traders had, because they came to learn a lot of how to design their products for the European market, was in terms of this design. What is it so particular about that?
I think one needs to understand design. Design is heavily emotional, and of course, it has the functional side. For example, a car has two sides, or let me say a car, especially that you're in Germany. I'll use an example of a BMW. A BMW has a look and feel, but it also has the engineering side. The engineering side heavily takes care of the functional elements or the functional side of that product. The engineering side is the one that is able to take you 300 kilometers per hour. The engineering side is the one that is able to, make you, feel comfortable while riding. But the design side speaks to your emotions, speaks to your aspirations. Some people even buy because of status.
Correct.
Design is that important. For me, I can't see a product which has 100% very good engineering and then probably 20% design, or the other way around. So we're trying to inspire African artists and engineers to work together, African innovators to work with designers and be able to bring a product that will be able to sell in Germany, but it's of African origin. For example, the way you will see our products, you love the boots, but yes, if it's status, they'll give you that. If you want to go, move in the rain, they'll give you that. If you want to feel cool, they give you that. So we're trying to be 100% on the engineering side or the science side of things, and then 100% on the art side of things or branding side of things.
I just love it because also I'm coming from the background of international marketing and business management. That's anyway, apart from my philanthropic and volunteering for Africa, and branding has always been one of the challenges why African products actually don't perform well in the global market space, and in terms of quality, in terms of design, in terms of the feel. Now, you were of the opinion that we need to even build those products in Africa and put even their own feeling into it. For instance, we're taking the case study of Germany. What actually did you mean by that? Like, we can still use their logo, but it's made in Africa and we give them the feeling that they want. That we should go beyond this.
Say that again. Come again, please.
I
Sorry,
mean,
internet.
I know, I know, I
Internet.
know. I understand. I understand. I'm just trying to make it. I understand. No, no, no. I'm very okay with that. You made a mention even from the conception. I can remember when we had this three conversation with Professor Pielo, and you were like, Africans have to go beyond just thinking that we have to put a mask. We have to put a feeling, particularly from the way people feel. So, like, if we want to do an African product for the German market, so we have to consider what is it that Germans see that must not be an African thing, but it's made in Africa, just like the drinks that they make here and we drink in Africa.
Oh yeah, I think I get you right now. And yes, I think we need to elevate our minds beyond our geography.
Mm,
We too much in thinking our minds, or every African, especially the ones on the continent, are thinking that beautiful map in terms of location, and that influences their thinking.
mm,
I did design something for the South African government, and that was a course for for fast tracking the artisans in South Africa.
mhm,
It is yet to be adopted. But out of that course, I wrote, and I did mention that it's not enough for artisans in South Africa just to do South African products or South African patterns. For example, we are Saint Africa, none of us is South African, but when you look at our products, you will see the belly patterns. You will see Masai, none of us is Masai, but you will see Masai products. So the sophistication here comes from the reading, the understanding of the continent, or the understanding of your market, the
mhm,
understanding of the people you're going to represent using the brand. So if, for example, we need to make something for the Germans, it doesn't have to have African patterns. All you need to do is go and profile the German from the time they wake up to the time they go to sleep. Know their wants, their dislikes, know the things they enjoy, the TVs they enjoy, the radio FMs they listen to, the music they love, and as an artist, you're not limited to using African patterns. So for especially the artists in diaspora, yes, they can choose to use African patterns to make a living, to design and make a living. But again, God has given us this whole world to interpret. I don't know
mm.
if it makes sense. Of course,
Too much
yeah,
sense.
yeah. We as artists have very flexible and fluid minds to be able to interpret our geography,
Mhm.
be able to bring it out in a manner that people or consumers will appreciate and even purchase. So yes, it is possible for an African to design something German, something French, something Italian that has no trace of even anything African. What
Mm,
do we want when you design something for the Germans that has no trace of anything African? You need the money to send it back home to take your mother to your hospital. So we need to elevate our minds as artists to think beyond the patterns, to think beyond the colors, and also the artists need to think business as well. That's what I'm trying to say in these words. We need to think business. So when you think like that, it means that not all of us are going to push out product that looks like Saint Africa, because
mhm,
people might look at Saint Africa products, artists who have no time or even imagination, and they decide to copy. Yes, they can copy and make a living, but I would encourage them to elevate their minds and interpret the geography of the different places they live in.
mm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Particularly when we see that all the other products that we're even consuming that are their own products has nothing absolutely to even do with them. showing that is this apart from made in. And so they're not going to put, let's just say, their bridges or their technology on those packaging and design, but you're just going to consume the feeling of knowing it and some power also in terms of that. Bedford, tell us about the cross, the what was that? You designed a very massive project, the ship, like the cruise ship that we see in the others. And the idea was the connecting the Caribbean or connecting the diaspora back home through that kind of project. What project was that? This was massive.
Oh, that project is still, we're still building it. We're still unveiling it. And for some reason, we find ourselves repeating what the great Jamaican, what's the Jamaican, Marcus Garvey. We find ourselves doing what Marcus Garvey did already. Remember,
Yes.
Marcus Garvey had two ships, I think. Marcus Garvey had different businesses, and the reason he opened these businesses was not to enrich himself, but to help his own people, especially people of African descent who are in the West, former slaves. So we're finding ourselves doing that again. Someone had to mention to me that, did you notice that United Africa is not anything new, but it's something that is what Marcus Garvey did already in the 1920s. And when you read, then I had to go and Google Marcus Garvey and read heavily about him. And guess what I found? Under the Marcus Garvey, UNIA, the United Negro Improvement Association, they birthed a brand called United Africa.
Yeah, there's nothing that we're doing that doesn't resurrect from Marcus Garvey, even the media.
And what we know as Unilever actually comes from United Africa. So they dropped the name United Africa. For us, we picked it without knowing, and that's one way I think God tries to save Africans. If it didn't work in Marcus Garvey's generation, then it's us, the new Marcus Garveys, picking it up with the same idea, same ideology. So yes, we're doing bots, like you asked, and these bots are meant to basically help the Africans on the continent enjoy the lakes, enjoy the rivers, enjoy the the oceans, and not think that life is only good on the other side of the world. And we're not talking about fishing boats, that can sink anytime. No, we're talking about really good boats,
Yeah,
well
cruising.
designed by school engineers. And yes, we want to make fishing boats for the fishermen, boats that are safe, boats that take care of everything that they need on the fishing expedition. Then we want to take care of the middle class families by giving them an opportunity to own boats cheaply. And then we also want to venture into building military boats for our militaries. So yes, we're coming, and I know with your help, we'll be able to team up with whoever might want to come on the project, and we push it forward.
Hey, to my dear listeners and followers, I know us, and I know my viewers, I know my brothers and sisters, not just knowing them by face, but I feel them. This is one of the biggest innovation or person or name that you have heard here today, and that has been kept. But it is the spirit of the Marcus Garvey that resurrected in Bedford Buyungo. I remember Professor James Moore said it here. All of us that are doing whatever thing that we're doing are just ancestors that came back in another form. My greatest inspiration on the Pan-African Daily or the news was actually Marcus Garvey when he started printing out this Negro and these stories and the first things why he was even persecuted or chased out or stuff, and he never stopped doing it was the media. Even before the media could even understand the need, the purpose, and the media also understood that the first freedom that we need is the media. Doesn't matter what kind of whether it's newspapers or whatever. But and so I'm encouraging everyone, every designer, every innovator, minds, Africans that just dream of a new Africa to go beyond, above just thinking geographically or just thinking traditionally, but start expanding into these brains of our ancestors that already saw it. You're talking about the boat. When I saw the concept of the boat, I thought about how every African or even other people are running to Mallorca in Spain, in Italy. That is where the biggest chunks of money go just to go ride some boat around and own a boat. And you see them, oh, I was on my cruise boat. And when I saw this concept for African waters, and particularly when we own part of the Atlantic Ocean is really on us, the rivers, the seas, and everything. But you don't really see Africans going cool out there in their swimsuits and owning some boats, just like in the Hawaii or out there in California or Florida or whatever. So you are transforming a big kind of setup with our beaches, with everything to look touristic, to look attractive, for people to just own their space, the sea, and cruise and hang out for vacation. That is massive. That is massive. And I congratulate you really, brother, for that concept. Now, you're
Thank you.
networking a lot and you want to reach out to really investors, particularly those in the diaspora that are looking because they already have the technology. Those on the islands, particularly, they know what it is, how much money you make in terms of tourism. But if you look at the whole of Africa, the coast of Africa, there is nothing that you can really go there and have that kind of a feel like. Though the beaches are so clean, natural, you get not even the ones that you go here and you carry some kind of, original beaches. But how do we make money with such resources without putting it another brand, another feeling, another perceptions what we're running out here? So this concept with Bedford Buyungo, we're going to be doing it twice every month. And we're calling on all of you that will be listening to this video and sharing it. If you are interested, you're a brand innovator or creator or artist in any way, please make sure you drop us your comment. You contact us. We're going to put you in contact and we'll put the programs in such a way that you can be a part. This is one of the biggest investment sectors on the continent: tourism, innovation, creation. Africa needs everything: brands, cars, clothes, music, everything. We're just starting, to discover and to sell to the world. And you are not lacking in that. Even if you're a worker, yes, you can be a worker, you can be a cleaner, but think out of just your space to work and innovate. Save a little bit of money, meet creators like this, and start a little brand. Come on the Pan-African Daily. We're going to push that brand in the new Africa today. Be an innovator, be a creator, be a leader. So when we say creator, you create brands. Do any simple thing, even if it's just a pen, right? But you're creating the new global Africa brand. We're going to push it through the media. We're going to push it through all the networks. And we're going to make it outstanding. That is our mission, to make the Africa that we want. It's not only going to be talking about historical facts and stuff. This kind of innovation is the forward moving Africa that we want. We're living our past. Yes, we're visiting it. We know where we come from. We have a trauma and this, but we're moving forward. Forward thinking Africa is what we are. Look at what the whole world or China is doing. Africans are so creative. So come up with anything. We're going to push it forward. They're going to fund it. And we're just going to get there. It's our time. Bedford.
Yes.
Was I saying something out of the context?
No, not really. You're spot on.
Good. So what is it that we should be expecting? Like you talked about, I think there was a project also that you did with the Ugandan, is it Airway or something like that? What was that? Was it?
No, I think that's part of the work I've done. I've been a
Okay.
brand consultant for Uganda Airlines for 1 year plus. It's a fresh airline, this part of the
Mm.
world. So, yes, I was just trying to earn something as a brand consultant. And probably what it says to the viewer is that in case you have your airline, for example, like the one called Peace Airways in Nigeria, we
Mm-hmm.
can do something for it. Yeah.
So like what?
But there's
Facelifting?
nothing much to say about Uganda Airlines for now.
Mm. I
Yeah.
know. What is it that when you see with the airlines, particularly this aviation, because we're talking in terms of tourism and transportation and all that. If you look at the Kenyan airlines or the Namibian or the Cameroon or the this, it has a pattern. Yes, okay, the product itself, but we're talking about the branding. And we start looking at all the brands with aviation. You have symbols that represent them, whether it's an animal that they take for a symbol, they design their aircraft in that animal. But we don't see African air aviation carrying like our lions symbol or carrying like, I don't know what. Yeah. Is
I
that what you
think
mean?
that's how we fail.
Mm.
That's the very reason we fail. I want to see an airline with a very big head, with a head of a gorilla on it,
Correct.
landing somewhere, in Heathrow. So want to see one of the Nigerian, planes or Kenya Airways carrying, a lion head on it. They will be telling stories about, the places they come from. So um, I think us as probably people contracted to do design and communication for the airlines, that's how we fail. But again, it's not entirely on the designer, but also the shareholders, the guys
Mm.
who run the business. Sometimes they think that by doing what every other person is doing, there's a safe space. But I
Mm.
want to of the view that if we use our own, patterns, we use our own, we are not afraid to use our own, elements. We able to shine out of the crowd.
Mm.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Super. I think so too. If you look at Air Malaysia, I mean, even these guys in the Hawaii, I just went through and I was like, wow. You only look at it, you see, if it's they have a lot of ocean, they're gonna represent it with an ocean. And we have the Mount Kilimanjaro, we have the Serengetis, we have all the beautiful parks. We only see them. We don't see them anywhere on our aircraft or anything. Now, Ethiopian Airlines here, you see the beautiful wet rays dressed traditionally in their clothes, but that's always in the verbal, in the communication. But if you look at the airline itself, and they're producing a lot in terms of aviation, just imagine elements of this, like you're saying, the Saint Africa. This is going to be something very massive. Now, what is it that it would take us? Do you think, because like you're a lecturer in this, do you think people need a lot of education on this?
I'll start this way, that it doesn't take many people to change a continent.
Hmm.
It doesn't even take many people to change people, even a country.
Hmm.
I'll mention that there is a country called Monaco. I think you've heard about that. It has it has about 37,000 people,
Yes, Prince
and their
Charles.
GDP per capita is about 18,000 US dollars.
Mm.
You can imagine. 180, in fact, not 18,000, 180,000, and there are only 37,000 people. So if you have, for example, 100,000 Africans doing the right thing, we are able to fast track. But of course, Africa has been in a backseat for long. And I think what Africa needs is a specialized kind of education to fast track the minds. You can imagine a Ugandan student takes about 19 years in school to graduate. So if you have 100 Ugandans, that's about 1,900 years of being miseducated. I don't know if you get the kind of
Yes,
compound
perfect.
effect I'm trying to explain. So what I'm saying is that for you to reverse the 19 years, it is possible, number one, to do, but you need specialized tutors, specialized lecturers, specialized, and we're blessed to live in the world where, in the information age, whereby I can Google and even learn how, I can YouTube and learn how to build a boat. It used not to be a luxury a few years ago, but we need to inspire our Africans to read heavily, to be interested in innovation and design, even engineering or science, and then we are able to fast track the continent to where we want it to be. So that's why I'm happy about the Pan-African Daily Show as a platform that can fast track the African mind to be able to, come out of the gutters and be a global mind that is not limited to space, is not limited to location, not limited to all those limitations Africans are exposed to.
Mm,
Yeah.
beautiful. Absolutely. Thank you too. But I am extremely amazed by the kind of talents that we have on this continent sitting down. And sometimes we're so focused only why we're not moving. And the real people that are doing big stuffs like you are doing in the background, most often we don't see and we don't have that access to them. Getting you here on the show was something that I have waited for more than 8 months because I followed your design, your communication, and Professor Pielo Lumumba was the one who actually pulled my legs and said, "Stay in touch. If we want to unite Africa and push forward, these are the brains that are just locked somewhere, working to, for other purposes that could change Africa and Africans, connect them with just a brand." And I love that. And I'm thanking Professor Pielo and shouting out to him. I know it's been a long walk to get you here, Bedford, but you are finally here and you're ready, to give this knowledge, to teach people, but also to network, to connect, to advise them on where they can put their money by just starting, to have this harbor of boats. You can imagine Monaco that he's talking about. Who doesn't know Monaco? The Prince of Monaco has a son, with a daughter from Congo, which we all know. And where did they meet? They met in an aircraft. So and it's so famous for where the bourgeoisie, so the millionaires, go and spend money on 2 weeks on just cruising at their boats because they have nothing, just the waters. Then imagine us. So we're looking forward for you out there. Save some little money. It doesn't take too much. Cut out your expenses. Work, but then also have a plan to invest and to be the biggest business people. Now you have experts that will train you, that will give you access to the continent, of course. Yeah. Bedford has all sort of connections that I know. He knows every head of state. Bedford, am I lying?
No, I don't know every head of state, but I work for a few, and in terms of, I work for a few as a brand consultant, but of course, one head of state can get you to another, but I
Of
know
course.
a few, and of course, within our networks, Professor Lumumba can get us around. So, yes, head of states contribute to the development of the continent, but I would mostly focus on the people themselves, the people with the ideas, the people who want to sell coffee, the people who want So the people I want to help are those who want to start a cloth line. Yes, I'm saying to Africa, I sell clothes, I manufacture clothes. African Voyage, I have boats, I manufacture, but I can help others because Africa is big. Africa is 1.2 billion people plus. Even if I get 1 million customers, I'm good enough, you know. So we can all fit, we can all thrive in this beautiful continent. But we need to unite, we need to probably give more. And the reason for such a program that we're going to start on the Pan-African Daily Show, showing people how to build a brand. Of course, that's free knowledge. Some of us had to pay to learn it.
Oh, yes.
uh, what is it? What benefit is it if we have to die with such kind of information? Because anyone can die. So, in the interest of the continent and the progress of the continent, we are willing to, give. Nelson Mandela gave 27 years to liberate South Africans. But of course, he wasn't alone. But you and I are going to have to give time to be able to liberate Africans' minds.
Yes. Of course, I know Edua is a man of few words, particularly scientists like you, an artist and creator. I know your works are so big more than your speech, and that's just the difference. Some of us that just sit and open the mouth, maybe our works are just not really, but everybody is giving this talent for a service, and what you're doing is amazing. And I would like people to actually, put that focus, get out of the mindset of church, get out. Get out and start hoping that just by being in a building and looking up to the sky, something is going to change. And the worst thing, you go and start putting your money and tomorrow you're bankrupt. Yeah, right. And all they come is to say, oh, we're going to pray for you. And then, wear you some clothes and people sing some gospel music. And that's all. And you have no legacy for your children and nothing. Get out. Meet people that are physical. Yes, we thank God, we believe in God. I believe in the Creator and everything. He gives us the power. But it's not just to go and believe that He has already given you and go and put somewhere else. We dream a lot. Now, the new Africa, we're getting out of our dream to make it a reality. Now, if you want to get in contact with Bedford, I have all access to him. And like I said, he's just playing the small guy, but these are the big guys that we're talking about. The Africa that we want is not going to end with us just blah, blah. It's going to end with so much work. And the contacts are there. You're looking to process, you're looking to invest, you're looking to gain knowledge, you're looking to partner. Like I said, those are all our brothers in the diaspora in the Caribbean. You already know tourism business. Don't sit out there. I know Ian in the Barbados and what he's doing out there. We're connecting people. There's just a lot of money on the continent, and the Chinese are coming. Germans have been there for centuries, decades. Even they're going now for the second, third, fourth time. Yeah. The Americans have been there for ages. You can imagine the kind of resources that we have that is untappable and it's not getting finished. Look at Ghana. You can dig the gold and dig it. Look at Congo. Didn't you just see a video of a village in Congo where it only rained and pull out and there was gold as if it's sun, and people were carrying gold? They didn't even know what this was. It just happened this year. So that continent is full. It will never get dry. Stop dreaming about the stories and the pictures they show you about the poor people. They're just putting it in your face to discourage you from getting rich as them, or from being famous, or from helping your people. You can be anything. Particularly as a descendant of Africa, God made you and gave you these resources. He didn't make you to be poor. So we have to wake up. Waking up doesn't only say we have to go back to our history to say they exploited us. Yes, they did. And so what? Now we are there. We have the means. We have teachers like this. We have connections. So we have to move ahead. We have to be so aggressive with the times. Yes, we love talking and sharing information. That's what I do on the Pan-African. But please, we're just empowering and encouraging you and bringing all these contacts for free. Yeah, where you can call me and I will put you in contact with him. Where do you see that? Do you know how much contact costs in the West just to get access to Bedford? I know companies that are paying a lot just to get his consultancy. Yeah. So it is a gift. Take it. Let's not take it for granted. Let's not always think when I come on the Pan African Day, I come to support Susan. For what? No. Yeah, we are giving and opening the Africa that has been closed by the colonials. Yeah, we're opening the Africa that has been shut down by the Chinese. They go and get all the minerals, but they show you the poor Africa, the Western imperialists. When we start saying that they're killing us or bombing us, that is even just the list of our problems. The biggest thing that they do to us is to blacklist us and make you feel there's nothing there, but they are there and they never leave. They never leave. The biggest illusion is to come and tell you, oh, your presidents are the most corrupt. Yeah, but they are working with them for decades. When there's still election or they are corrupt, they support them. And when the people riot against them, they put forces into it. We're not stupid. We're not dumb. We know our problems. Right now, it's a game of chess. Yeah. Get into the continent, get the context, get your own piece of it. It is your right as a son and daughter of Africa to inherit the wealth and the riches. Yeah. That belongs to you. Don't sleep working for them. We work, we put money aside, and we develop and grow and build a legacy for Africa. So thank you so much. That was a little bit of the inspiration and motivation we do out here. Share it. If you are not interested, give the other African a chance. Yeah. Thank you so very much. What do you want to round up with, Bedford?
Yes. Yes, Doctor.
Yes. So what are you closing this show with? What is it that you want to tell us to stay on point with before we meet you again? I'll be sending out the calendar which days you'll be here according to your program. What is the last sentence you want to share with us?
I think I want to remind Africans that our biggest strength is actually going to have to be in African unity. We have to come together and be able to do big things together.
Yes.
And for me, that's the money we'll get, the cars, everything we'll get. But what is proving to be costly, and one thing that keeps eluding the Africans, yet it's so simple, is the unity of Africa.
Mm-hmm.
Because when we come together, we bring our different expertise, we bring our different flavors from wherever we come from on the continent, or even those in the diaspora, and we are able to do big things together. But we seem not to have a vision for this continent. For example, if stop any African anywhere on this world and ask them what Africa will be 50 years from now, no one has the answer.
Yes.
And we're not going to wait for African Union. We're not going to wait for the 54 heads of states. We can do it ourselves as simple people. We can do it ourselves as media personalities, as business people. And yes, we give a vision for this continent and then follow through. So I'm encouraging every African in every corner of the world to come together and unify, and then do big things. And those big things, I mean, are simple things like offering better and practical education to our fellow Africans,
Mm-hmm.
Reducing disease. Those are the simple things, or what I call the big things that we need to do, but we can't do it
Right.
alone. If I didn't have Dr. Susan Tata to tell my story, no one would ever know about Saint Africa. But I know that today many people are introduced to that brand. So by a simple, you spending maybe 3 hours collectively, or even 5 hours to prepare for the show, many people are going to benefit. Many people will buy our products, and then we'll put the money to good use.
Correct.
Many people are also going to be inspired by our program. So the unity is very important. And if there is anything that I want to be remembered for, it is that very thing of encouraging Africans to unify and designing programs for Africans to unify. And yes, United Africa is how I close. Thank you, Dr. Tata.
Wow. Oh my God. Do big things. And the big things doesn't mean you need big money. It's just small things, and we're going to transform them into big things. The world has always existed like that. Even the Elon Musk, to the Bill Gates, to whatever you call them, they have nothing. They just do small things and brand it. That's why branding, the topic of today was the role of business in branding Africa. They prepare a small thing. First of all, they find fault and they see the fault, and then they dramatize everything and they show it on all media platforms. And before we know it, we buy this story. And what are they doing? They're not doing any big thing more than you. The biggest dream is us owning Africa. Owning Africa means just own your resources and take as much as you can. Take as much, don't sleep and just sleep away. You have the contacts, we have the platform, bring all your brands, innovate something. They don't pay me anything being here. Bedford is here. I never collected any cents. I'm just honored and humbled to see a brother doing big things and coming here with them. Bring your products that you have. We're going to share it with the whole of Africa. Now you understand why I keep telling you every day, give me 1 million and I'll make all of you millionaires. Just give me 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV and bring me your brands. And all the 1 million and billions would buy and buy and buy. Because this is the market that the Chinese, the Europeans have been taken away from us for centuries. It doesn't cost you anything to just click and subscribe. But if you're already share for one another, that's the volunteering. The volunteering just means click and subscribe. And if you already did, give it to your brother. Now, when you start producing your brands and creating anything that an African can create, bring it, we'll sell it to the 1 million. They would buy it happily, and all of us will develop our continent. It's just a spirit. It doesn't take billionaires. Okay, so thank you so very much. We are looking forward to our next program with Bedford. Bedford, you are a king. You are a creator. Yeah, and we look at you. When we hear the stories of Uganda, most often we're going to be talking about Excellency Museveni and corruption and that. Yes, true. Or we're going to be talking about, the opposition doing this and people dying. That's also the story. But the biggest thing that is going to save Uganda and Ugandans and Africa is the innovation of the young people. Imagine they would create and have their jobs. They will not even bother about Presidency Museveni or whoever. Stay there with all your whatever. They will not bother. But they're bothering because they're hungry. And in as much as they stay hungry, we're going to be killing ourselves. So education through this kind of forums, through this kind of expert, he is Ugandan and the biggest creator in Uganda doing massive things for global brands. And nobody's talking about it. All we need to come on here and be talking, oh, they're killing people in Uganda. People, we need to wake up and find out where the cheese is. Yeah. And stop always going back to look at who stole the cheese. You have to get hold of the cheese. Because the Chinese are coming, the Indians and all, they're fighting for that same cheese that belongs to you. While we go back and be talking about distractions, yes, we table them, but let us move forward. So I really want to thank you, this King, for making time with us and for creating this academy. If you want to design anything, or you don't even want to, you must not be a designer. You don't know anything. Just come to that class. Yeah, it's going to be a webinar class. It's not going to be a conversation. These are conversations. We're coming out with all the institute that we're talking here. It's going to be webinars, yeah, where you need to sign in, register. Even if you don't know anything, just come and listen. And they will tell you, maybe from your passion, you can be a designer, okay? So thank you. Tomorrow, we'll be seeing ourselves. Thank you, Bedford, for being here and looking so king that you are. We're going to meet ourselves very soon again in 2 weeks, okay? Thank you so much.
Thank you, too. Greetings to Professor Lumumba.
I will.
King Joshua Maponga. Tell
Yes.
him I love him so much. And of course, I want to thank the viewers. I did thank them. I want to thank my team who made me look this beautiful or this handsome. Uh, yeah, I know some of them are nearby here. Do you want to see them?
Oh yes, please. Why
Okay,
not?
come
Where
and
is
let's show
Eddie?
them.
Where is Eddie? Show me Eddie and the Queen. No, please, the Queen first.
They're coming shortly.
Oh, thank you
So,
so much. This is so
I
beautiful.
want
I
to,
mean, we love you, African.
yes.
Yep. And I was just having some nice, sweet conversation with Eddie. I mean, on your team, who is saying, "Hey, Dr. Susan, we want to provide you a studio." Yeah, so don't be worried. In the next days, you're gonna see us.
Hello, how you doing? I've been watching.
You've been watching. Where's your face? I still cannot see you.
I've even commented. You see, I'm so dark, so you can't see me.
Oh my God! How is it that I can't see
All
you?
right. So
Yeah,
yeah.
Indonesia.
So
Okay.
everyone there, this is Fari, a man from Congo. Very short, talented, stubborn, good, makes everything happen. This is Edgar, the man from Uganda, makes everything happen. This is my sister, all the way from the eastern part of Uganda, the land of the wise men and women.
Okay.
This is Eddie. Yeah.
Oh my God. Oh my
So I know
God.
you
Oh my
thought
God.
it was just me.
Thank you.
What a powerful team. Now tell us what each and every one of you are doing, because we're gonna be getting you. Oh, you're all gone. Oh, look at them. Look at all of them.
Because we want to be able to make sure the interview end well. But my name is Eddie Okila. I am a simple marketer and broadcaster and a health and fitness coach. So after all the business I discussed, I look after health and fitness. If we're not healthy and fit, we can never make Africa great. So I speak health and fitness, and I think that every human being, every African must breast the idea of living a healthy life so that we can make money and build Africa and make Africa a better place to be. You cannot make money when you're broke, neither can you make money when you're sick. The worst combination, even God will reject you, is being broke and unfit.
Oh my God.
So, can I say something?
So
That brother
next week,
from Congo.
yes. And let the brother from Congo tell us, because I know Eddie, we're going to make the first summit is gonna be all of you. So where's the brother from Congo? Tell us about the gold in Congo. How much did you get?
I've never seen them. They're actually there, but I don't know where.
You see, but you need to take us to where they are. We would
Yeah,
find
you're
it
welcome.
together,
When are you coming around?
Thank you so much. So where's the queen of the studio, Bedford? She was the one that was doing everything when we were doing the testing. Where's she?
This guy.
Where is Mama Mama United Africa?
Kampala.
No, she's a filmmaker.
Oh, a filmmaker. Oh, yes, we talked about it. She's also going to be a guest on the show. Wow. Show us your face, princess, your beautiful face. Thank you so much for your support. Yes. Tell us a little bit something.
I am called Rebecca Amolen. From the eastern part of Uganda, that is Amoria. And I am a filmmaker who specializes in sound engineering, but I also direct. I direct films and music videos. I am a scriptwriter and a fashion model.
Wow. Anyway, we'll be getting you on the show. I already know we're planning that summit with all the powerful young women out there pulling this thing. So I want to thank you so much from your team and from
Thank
our
you.
team. Yes, thank you. Thank you for being on the show. I also want, yes, bye-bye. Bye-bye. I'm sorry, it's just an interruption. I don't hear you well from my own part. So thank you. We
Okay.
see ourselves here anytime soon, okay?
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Bye, thanks.
Bye-bye.
Wow. And to all our beautiful, beautiful guests and the family of Pan African Daily TV, we want to thank you. We're also bringing you greetings from our team here. As you can see, Patrick Kasarim is out there that has been taking care of the correspondence and coordinating the program the whole time. Sitting in front of me, opposite, even though we quarrel most of the time, is the chief technical here, Tumi Tata. And the one that has been curating and making sure that the technique works and sound and quality and lighting and bringing the guests and, moderate the conversation. He's saying a lot. He's assisted by Ia, who is going to be on the show tomorrow. As you know, they always fluctuate. And then I'm bringing you a warm greeting from Naisha. Naisha is my PA, and she gets into contact with the guests, and we design the program. But the whole team of engineers, like designing the flyers and the communication, are just volunteers that just pick it and do it by themselves. Like Kofi Zuma is also there, always sharing the programs. And we have Koboko Sauce, Agents of Change, and all of you that are all here. We are a big family. So we just the four that's here to bring the daily show, but we have a massive support from our flyer sharers, from commentators, from those that just say, oh, Susan, thank you. Those are all the team that empower us from the Pan-African Daily TV family. I shared your thanks and your congratulations, and you saw how much we have grown in just months. Yeah. The monthly statistics, I did share it in your group. If you don't belong, if you're not one of our groups on the Pan-African WhatsApp group and you want to join a WhatsApp group or the Telegram, which is, I don't know whether it's still active, anyway, we're still going to take care of that. Make sure that you get into one of the groups and be a volunteer. Volunteering means share the stream, share our channels, ask people to subscribe. We need the 1 million subscribers, and then we can start talking. Yeah, you will see the Africa that 2016 cannot deliver. No, just the normal commons would liberate Africa. Doesn't take the leaders or the chiefs or whatever. They're so satisfied. They don't need any change. Yeah, we are the hungry ones, and we're going to fight to get that change through our unity and our development. So we thank you so very much. Now, I just want to give a quick run who is going to come here tomorrow. It's a whole summit tomorrow with 3 powerful guests, and they are coming from what we know or what we call or what let me not they are called the Pan-African Federalist oh my god, Federalist movement. Pan-African Federalist movement in the USA. This is a big body that is running and coordinating a lot of Pan-African out there, and most of the members are coming from this mammoth organization that is called Sons of Africa. And the Sons of Africa, as you all know, with founders like Professor James Small, Dr. Leonard Jeffries, and Dr. Scobie, yeah, and most of them have put that foundation. And what did they do in the Sons of Africa, for instance? They begin to train the young African man into being, they groom them into the manhood, so they mentor them, and they've been doing it for years. Professor James Moore, we just know them on the program here, but they've been doing a lot of massive work for decades for the community out there. So the Pan-African Federalist movement is going to be represented by Professor Babajiwe. Professor Babajiwe is a musician, is a scholar, is a teacher, is an educator, and a cool brother out there. I'm just happy that I'm connecting with these elders, and we feel all like family, right? It doesn't seem like we never ever seen each other. He's going to be accompanied, and he is actually the chairperson of this movement in the USA. Yeah, mostly they're based in the New York State, as I saw. But then we also, he's going to come along with Professor Jumei Dongo Faye. He's the general secretary. He's, I think, from a Senegalese-born professor that has written a lot and he's a political analyst, a researcher, and a lot more. Yeah, he's an elder, but with too much sense. Wow. I mean, the brains that we have on this continent is untappable, it's endless, yeah? Then we have this other young brother who is actually the one leading everything, coordinating everything. You call him the chief liaison, brother Charles Asukele Michel. Most of you know them. If anytime that we connect with Dr. Baba Jeffries, he's the one that is putting the camera, and he's the one that is always telling you, "Oh, Susan, you better stop it now. If not, Dr. Jeffries is going to talk and talk and talk and talk and talk." Yeah, so he's the one really taking care of the elders in the community, but also organizing this. You can hear Brother Michel on every radio stations that is out there about the movement, about the freedom, or you would see him when they're commemorating the Martin Luther King or Malcolm X commemoration, where they go to the grave every once a year to celebrate his birthday. He coordinates all these activities. I mean, there are great brothers out there on the continent and in the diaspora doing massive work for our people, have been in the struggle, have been in the movement, have sacrificed all their families, their time and everything. This is the time, I'm sorry, that Pan-African Daily TV is uncovering all these freedom fighters, people that have been working tirelessly for this continent, yeah, have bleeded. Most of them lost their lives, and we never know about them. Thank God we have the living stories and the testimonies of this movement. And the Pan-African Federalist Movement is going to be here live on these 3 persons tomorrow to share their incredible journey, their aims, the goals, the projects that they have, and what is it that they want to achieve. Most of the members are all schools that we all know, the biggest voices out there in the diaspora. So I look forward to that conversation. I can't wait. And I know you're also anxious to be with us tomorrow. So same time, with some delays, you know, technique is always technique. So we see ourselves tomorrow, brothers, sisters. Bye-bye.
You are watching the Pan-African Daily TV with Dr. Susan Tata. The Africa we want: unity, consciousness, our culture, our spirituality, our history. One Africa for Africans worldwide. Motherlands calling its diaspora home. Join my voice. Join my team. Join my campaign. Campaign 21 hashtag 1 million subscribers on the Pan-African Daily TV YouTube. Be a volunteer. Apply now. Be the new Africa.